Tons of Season 23 reveals and adjustments coming this week. For more news like this, stick around for this week's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back everyone to another episode of This Week in Identity 5. Let's talk about the multitude of things that we got last week. One of the biggest events that we had was the Mid-Autumn Festival event, where by completing the quests and missions and logging in and stuff like that, you'll be able to get the Moonchild B-tier skin for Naib that everybody seemed to be able to get on day one. I'm not sure if they messed up the pacing a little bit with this event. You could also get the portrait, a portrait frame, and even more rewards. Another event that we got that kind of took me by surprise because I didn't realize it was on us so quickly was that we got the Bungo Stray Dogs warm-up event, suggesting that it's just around the corner that we're supposed to get this crossover event, possibly in the next couple of weeks. What happened in this event? Well, we could predict characters to see what we think and who is going to receive each skin. They did, of course, the skin reveals too. By completing matches and by sharing and stuff like this, you'd also be able to claim some rewards. Yet another event that happened over last week was that we got the finals for the IVC 2022 tournament that was the Southeast Asia Championship, and this was really exciting to see. And of course there was some issues with the Identity 5 YouTube channel, but that's a different thing where they had to stream the finals on Twitch. But congratulations to GH, they have such great players. I really love watching their matches. They seem to know exactly what they're doing. In the shop we got multiple skins. We got the Once skin for Embalmer, that is a very fancy one with cool skins, called the Blind Spot skin, and it comes with a label, of course, the Once series Embalmer one. We got Batter's Ivory Tower B-tier skin called Bale, and we also got the return of the Locomotive Forward skin and his Steam Boiler accessory, and the Last Dance Bloody Queen skin with her accessory, the Viper Cane, that goes along with the skin, of course. So we got tons of skins returning, but not only that, we also got a Spyglass package in the store where you'll be able to get 100 Spyglasses, 188 clues, and 188 fragments. Why did you get this package? Because in the event shop, this Spyglass store, we had the return of the Prisoner Moonbound skin, the Perfumer Moon Maiden, the Dream Witch Moon Servant, and the Explorer Moonlight Traveler skins from previous Mid-Autumn Festival Lunar events. Let's talk about some of these adjustments that we got last week. First of all, we got Hermit available in rank, and it's been the Hermit rank apocalypse from what I've heard. They did adjust him though. They extended the judgment time for Hermit's normal and charge attack. I think by that they mean that it takes a little bit longer for him to launch attacks. They improved his landing logic for his Second Dawn, the ball in the sky ability, to launch from different heights. They improved the camera performance for Hermit's attachment. I'm not really sure what this means, but I think it's when survivors get hit, the camera won't jolt them too much. And they also improved his miracle, or technically his blasting ability, launching logic, making it a little bit easier to aim and moving the camera to make it smoother, I think. They released a ton of tarot mode adjustments. I thought that they had forgotten everything about this mode, but they did some changes for Soul Weaver, making it so that she can only cocoon once per match. They also made it so her cobwebs would cost 10% instead of 20% in the Crystal Ball mode when the Crystal Ball is activated. Violinist got a little bit of a nerf as he can now only give survivors 2 notes instead of 3 notes, and in the Crystal Ball mode he is perpetual motion, so his last presence ability will have less strings. Instead of 20 it will have 15. Naiads seemingly had a nerf and a buff, I'm unsure, where survivors will now gain humidity for 7 seconds after being hit, and it disappears 6 seconds after leaving the abyss, and humidity gaining is reduced by 30%. Guard 26 had a Crystal Ball Tarot mode change where his duration of his time bomb is reduced by 1 second, or at least the cooldown I believe, and the remote bomb is reduced cooldown from more than 20 seconds down to 20 seconds. Enchantress had a bit of a nerf, I think, where now she can have no more than 6 stacks of protection from blessings and hits from the knights. Sia, after getting 3 hours in tarot mode, will have his charging duration increased by 20 seconds. Wildling's maximum riding has been reduced from 45 seconds to 35 seconds in tarot mode. Perfumer's second perfume in the Crystal Ball tarot mode has been reduced to 2.5. That's the first one is normal, the second one is just a little bit shorter. And Psychologist's one I don't really understand, where her Crystal Ball effect of the first 2 stacks of stress is now equal to 1 normal stack in normal matches. I'm not really sure what that means, but I think people will get the point. I'm not really sure. They added lots of new items in the item store for the tarot mode. They added the resistance potion that reduces slows and pushbacks for knights. They added the agility potion that is probably the most interesting one, where it increases window vaulting speed and pallet destroying speed by 30%. They added the guardian item that lets knights teleport to one of their teammates. And they added the Resonance one for kings to use that will increase their squire's self-healing speed by 50% for 30 seconds and their movement speed by 20% as well when they're moving towards the king. So this is a nice way of helping your teammates out if they're on the ground or something, or if they need to come and rescue you, or you know you're going to go down soon and you need some assistance and they're not healing fast enough, you can help them out a little bit there. They improved the interface for tarot to make it easier to be able to know what the effects are for each character. That was really useful and necessary. Kings and knights can now always see each other if they're on the same team. Squires outlines are now yellow when shown to members, and squires of the same team can see each other when the distance between them is greater than 20 meters. They added a new character ban mode and area selection mode into the custom match section. They also added in rank, you are now able to pre-select your characters, and the system can now automatically select for players who are tier 3 or above. They increased the block list capacity from 50 to 100. That was a lot of stuff that they added to the game, and wow, let's move on to talk about what we can expect this week. Well, of course, we're getting the final week before the new season. This is the last week of Season 22 Essence 3, and that means that Season 23 is about to begin. This will mean that it will get an increase in our logic points that we gain, and the minimum dice roll, if you roll one of the 20-sided dice, will be no less than 15 if I remember correctly, and the logic limit will be increased as well for this week, so you can get all of those extra dice if you've been saving up. I only started saving up this week, so I'm a little bit behind. Oops. Over on Identity 5's Twitter page, there is a new event called the Moon and Stars event, where if you take room pictures that are based around the Mid-Autumn Festival, if you do it in your room of course and do something fancy, then you can possibly win a prize. I think it's cash, so make sure that's already available and will be ending sometime near the end of September, so make sure you guys get to doing that. It might be some of you guys are very creative with your room pictures, and we should probably expect that we'll be getting the adjustments either this week or the next week. NetEase said that it would come at the end of the season, and considering this is the last patch update before the season ends, this should be when the adjustments come out for all the characters. We're talking about Thief's buff, maybe that will make him meta. This is Enchantress's nerf, Prisoner's buff, Wildling's buff as well, and other adjustments as well. It will be really interesting to see what it does. Now let's talk about what we can expect from the future, because we've had some leaks and some reveals for some things. Well, the first thing that we had revealed was the accessories for next season. This is something we talked about last week. We knew the names of what these things were called because IDV Curiosity over on Twitter revealed the names and who was getting each accessory, but now we get to see what they look like. We have a cool looking chest for Lucky Guy. We have some cool like restraint for Psychologist, and we have a nice cool time sand hourglass thing as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing these effects. We should be seeing them maybe as of the day of the release of this video. We might be able to see what these accessories do. Usually NetEase releases them on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so that should be interesting to see as long as they've got their YouTube fixed. We also had a reveal over on Identity 5's Weibo account, the Chinese account, where we got to see the Logic Path skin reveal for Mind's Eye, and we also got to see all of the rewards as well for the Logic Path. It is a weird looking skin. It's very different than any kind of Mind's Eye skin you guys may have seen before. They were very creative with it. We'll be looking forward to getting this skin along with her seashell accessory and of course the portrait and portrait frames. Along with the reveal of the Logic Path and of the rank accessories, we also got to see today, at least at the recording of this video, Season 23 Essence 1's reveal. We got to see who's getting the skins, and we got to see which skins we're getting. Well, we're getting, I assume, an S tier skin for Gardener that looks very fancy. She's sitting on a moon. We get to see an A tier for Disciple and an A tier for Sculptor. Sculptor's getting another skin. This is about 3 witches that are all connected or all related to each other, and apparently there being a male who died or something like that in the family, one of their brothers, a lot of being shunned by the people in the town or city that they lived in. If you want to read about the theme of the essence, then you should go over to One Imi's Twitter, or you can go over to Identity 5 Facts over on Twitter, of course. Identity 5 Curiosity over on Twitter also expects to see these skins coming up for the essence as well that are B tiers. Barmaid is going to get one, Toy Merchant, Psychologist, Patient, and Wax Artist should all be getting B tier accessories in this essence, but it's not confirmed until we see the full art. Oh, and we've also got another tournament coming up soon. I'm unsure what's happening because we just had a tournament, but we might be getting on September 22nd, so not this week, but the following week, the Identity 5 Stellaris Challenge 2022. This happened last year, and we had a lot of the top Chinese players and Japanese players and also Southeast Asia players playing against each other, and I'm unsure if we'll be seeing GH participate in this event or not, but I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I love competitive. Moving on to the Talk in the Manor, where I respond to your comments that you guys left on my recent videos. Flarebolt says, I am hyped to use the bean ray. This is of course on the video that I did about VHS Video Horror Society, where I kept on saying bean ray instead of beam ray. They're very, very close sounding. And yeah, please give us a kind of a character where we can shoot beans. I would love to play that in Video Horror Society. Alathea says, nah fam, as a Joseph, I hear people breathing in those lockers and it gives me a free chair in the photo world. This is of course talking about how you can hide from Joseph in the photo world, or leave your photo world copy in the locker, for example, so that it's a little bit more difficult for Joseph to find. A lot of people were saying that you can actually really hear the survivors breathing in the lockers, and that might be the case. And I know that of course lots of pro players of Joseph will probably check lockers, but there's a thing that I thought about when I was recording this that made me kind of want to suggest this a little bit more. If for example Joseph finds somebody and then he picks them up, because most pro Josephs will pick up a survivor so that they don't get attack recovery, or that their attack recovery is shortened when they're holding people in balloons. They can't, as far as I know, open up a locker to be able to pick somebody up if they've got someone in balloons. So this will waste some time for them, as they'll need to drop the person, open up the locker, carry that person to a chair. So this is just a way of kind of maybe mitigating or lessening the chance of Joseph finding you overall, because first of all, you're not visible from a distance, and also it's more difficult and more inconvenient for Joseph to pick you out of a locker if you are the second or third target that he finds. Which skin are you most excited for? The ones from the next season, or are you looking forward to the Mind's Eye one from the Logic Path? Tell me down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, remember to like and subscribe, and check out the BBlackPhoenix IDV channel that you'll be able to find in the description if you want to get some more news every single week about Identity 5. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye bye.